If you're dealing with chronic fatigue or maybe you're just wiped out all the time, I'm going to give you a really simple test in this video that you can do right now as soon as the video is over. And it'll give you an indication if your body may be having trouble using oxygen correctly. Your body kind of needs to use oxygen for us to have energy. This is going to be a huge piece of information for some of you guys. Let's jump in.
T.C. Hale is not a doctor and does not claim to be a doctor or licensed in any type of medical field. Don't be an idiot and use anything heard on the show as medical advice. This information should be used for educational purposes only, and you should contact your doctor for any medical advice. Now get off me.
Now, this is not the only cause of fatigue or somebody not having any energy, but in this video I want to explain what happens when your body can't utilize oxygen the way that it wants to utilize. So this is how it works. The blood pH has a really narrow pH range that it needs to stay within, or we just kind of die. But for a wide variety of reasons, the blood pH has the ability to lean too far on the acidic side or too far on the alkaline side, and either imbalance can create a wide variety of issues. But if the blood starts leaning too far on this alkaline side, what's called the Bohr effect kicks in. And we all learned about the Bohr effect in the 8th grade, and then we just kind of never talked about it again. But the Bohr effect helps us understand that when the blood leans too far on the alkaline side, that oxygen can't leave that blood and go down to the tissues where it needs to be. So that oxygen kind of gets held in the bloodstream. Your doctor will put a pulse oximeter on your finger and be like, oh man, your oxygen's great. The problem is the oxygen can't get down to the tissues so that it can be utilized correctly. So here's what the body does to try to correct this problem. When we exhale carbon dioxide, or CO2. And CO2 is acidic. So when the blood is leaning too far on that alkaline side, the body can lower the rate at which we breathe in an effort to hold on to more CO2 and help acidify that blood. It's helping to acidify the blood to balance out its overly alkaline state so that oxygen can get down to the tissues where it needs to be, so the body can utilize the oxygen, can make a little energy, help the person go and get through their day. So here's a really simple test you can do to get an indication if you may be leaning too far on that alkaline side in your bloodstream. Just get a timer, maybe it was a stopwatch on your phone or just a kitchen timer or something, and set it for a minute, and then count the number of times you inhale in that minute. Just count the inhales. Don't count inhale as 1 and then exhale as 2. You only want to count the inhales. Counting the number of inhales in a minute will give you your breath rate. Now, if your breath rate is 12 or lower, that's a really strong indication that your blood may be leaning too far on that alkaline side. And your body's just lowering the rate at which you breathe to hold on to more CO2 and help the blood acidify so it can use oxygen correctly. So contrary to what a lot of pH gurus will say, your urine and saliva pH are no indication of what your blood pH is. That's completely false. Now, there can be value in looking at your urine and saliva pH. You can understand your body chemistry when you're doing that, but it's not going to help you understand if your blood is leaning too far on the acidic or too far on the alkaline side. Also, if you're listening to those guys, you're probably trying to alkalize everything, which can create a lot of problems for someone who's already leaning too far on this alkaline side in their bloodstream. If you need to understand that better, we'll put a link to our video on the truth about pH balance in the description below this video. Now, if your breath rate is really low, and we see some people as low as like 6. I was down to like 6 at one point because I was listening to all these alkalizing gurus and such. So we can see a really low breath rate. But if that's the problem, just understand that forcefully changing your breath rate, like just trying to breathe faster, is not going to correct the problem. That would like be going up to a mad dog and just grabbing his tail and wagging it. Because a dog that wags his tail is happy. So I'm just going to wag his tail and he's going to bite me. So that's not going to fix the problem. We need to look at correcting the actual problem. Your body is just slowing the rate to try to correct the problem. So one thing a person could do is they could try to drink some carbonated water away from meals, because that carbonated water contains CO2. You can bring that CO2 into the system and that can help acidify the bloodstream a little bit. Now, to understand how to correct this problem, you really need to understand the most common causes of someone's breath rate going too low so you can stop doing those things, and also take some other steps to improve the issue. So jump over right now and watch our video on why you're so tired, and that'll help you understand these causes and steps that you can take, as well as some other common underlying causes for fatigue. You may be dealing with more than one. I can't wait to hear about your results.